Hi, this is Budo Aspect Sports TV. I'm takumi.yamanaka. Today's theme is the way of placing your center of gravity in MMA. Today, I want to talk about center of gravity in MMA. Center of gravity is always important in martial arts, but in modern MMA, the issue is not simply whether it is high or low. What has changed is the way fighters place center of gravity. And this change affects striking, footwork, and even tactical decisions. So today I want to explain how center of gravity is placed in MMA now and why this style has become mainstream. First, let's clarify one thing. Center of gravity is not decided by feeling. It is mainly determined by three physical elements: knees, hips, and armpits. Many instructors say lower your waist, but in reality, this means bending the knees and changing the hip angle. As a result, the waist appears to drop. This part is well known, but the role of the armpit is rarely discussed, especially in MMA. If you carefully watch MMA fighters during a bout, you will notice something. Their armpits are slightly open while standing. In traditional striking martial arts like boxing, fighters are told to keep their armpits closed. This makes sense. It stabilizes posture, lowers the center of gravity, and allows efficient use of ground reaction force. But MMA is different. In MMA, keeping the armpit slightly open raises the center of gravity, but it also allows smoother movement. Of course, when fighters throw a powerful straight punch, they close their armpits instantly. However, in modern MMA, fighters rely more on hooks and compact punches than pre-committed straight punches. Because of this, MMA striking depends less on ground reaction force and more on movement of the spine. With this type of striking, slightly open armpits are not a problem. So why has a higher center of gravity become common in MMA? There is no single reason, but one thing is clear. A higher center of gravity allows smoother movement and makes it easier to land strikes in MMA exchanges. And once the center of gravity is placed higher, the required skills also change. For example, when the center of gravity is high, it becomes difficult to rotate the waist strongly. As a result, fighters tend to use calf kicks rather than traditional low kicks. car kicks are faster. They cause significant damage, and they reduce the risk of being taken down. Because the kick is fast, it gives the opponent less opportunity to anticipate a tackle. This change also affects takedowns. In the past, fighters often aimed for the legs. Now, with the higher center of gravity, aiming for the body has become more efficient, and the success rate of takedowns has increased. This trend became clear after the 2010s. Before that, many fighters placed their center of gravity lower. Because of this, fighters with kickboxing backgrounds could effectively use traditional low kicks and high kicks. Today, the high center of gravity style has become mainstream in MMA. But there are exceptions. A representative example is Francis Ngannou. Ngannou used a more linear fighting style similar to kickboxing. His confidence in pure punching and kicking power allowed him to maintain this style. This is one reason he was able to compete in boxing matches against fighters like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. A similar contrast can be seen in Conor McGregor. In MMA bout, McGregor often keeps his armpits open and his center of gravity high. But when he fought Floyd Mayweather in boxing, his armpits were clearly closed. Every era and every martial art has its own dominant fighting style. In MMA, placing the center of gravity higher is one of the current trends, but MMA's history is still short. Because of that, it is very possible that in another decade, today's mainstream style will be considered old school. Understanding center of gravity in MMA is not about finding a final answer. It is about understanding where MMA is right now and being ready for where it may move next. This is Budo Aspect Sports TV. Thank you for watching.